person and you read them.
The San Pedro rites offer mystical insight, but the seekers pay a price. As the drug takes effect, some pilgrims become violently ill. To fulfill their quest, they must purify themselves in the icy waters of the lake. They must submit to strange rituals that ward off evil.
Initially, you're asking yourself, what am I doing here? I must be sick in the head to be doing this. And yet, when all was said and done, there was an incredible sense of well-being and of something achieved that you couldn't really put your hands on, but just a feeling of wholeness and satisfaction.
Beyond the mind-altering effects of San Pedro, scholars are fascinated by the antiquity of these rites. Archaeologists believe that Peruvians have been making pilgrimages to this lofty Andean lake for thousands of years. Peru's ancient peoples have left us compelling evidence of an unbroken link between the present and the past. Centuries before the birth of Jesus, artists created exquisite ceramic images of shamans, reverently displaying the San Pedro cactus. The mind-altering cactus was so honored in ancient Peru that artists fashioned its portrait in clay.
What you find is a long continuum running right back to 1500 BC, right up to the present, where the shamans are basically having the same kinds of visionary experiences as we find depicted in the archaeological record.
Could Laguna Chimbe's rituals be an open window in time, giving us a glimpse of humanity's ancient past? Do they recall a distant age when human beings took drugs not for pleasure, but to search for the sacred on a path of suffering? When we return, we investigate how, in the age of science, the ancient quest of the shamans went so horribly wrong. Today, the nations of the earth are fighting a desperate battle against a deadly enemy. A ghastly epidemic that wastes billions of dollars and destroys millions of lives. The worldwide scourge of drug addiction. How can societies commanding the power of science be so helpless against substances which ancient peoples controlled for centuries? Ironically, it was science's ability to create unnaturally powerful drugs that made modern drug addictions possible.
Until the early years of the 19th century, we never had pure isolated alkaloids for popular administration, either in medicine or on the streets of our cities. All of these substances were by definition taken in their natural form, a form that is always safer and always has a lower potential for abuse.
In 1860, European scientists extracted pure cocaine from the South American coca leaf. To their astonishment, it proved to be a medical miracle.
If you drop a solution of cocaine in the eye, It causes complete anesthesia that allows, for example, a cataract to be removed without pain. So this revolutionized instantly eye surgery. And then people began experimenting with injecting cocaine to cause local anesthesia.
Cocaine might have remained a merely useful anesthetic had it not found a powerful champion, Sigmund Freud.
Woe unto you, my princess, when I come. I will kiss you quite red, you shall see. A big wild man who has cocaine in his body. In my last severe depression, I took coca again, and a small dose lifted me to the heights in a wonderful fashion. Sigmund Freud to his fiancée, 1884.
Thanks to Freud, doctors throughout Europe and the United States began prescribing cocaine as a cure for a multitude of ailments, including alcoholism. In 1886, at the height of the cocaine craze, an enterprising Atlanta druggist named John S. Pemberton began selling it in a potent liquid form. Pemberton named his new drug after its two principal ingredients, coca and cola.
Coca-Cola, the beverage, was originally a medicinal product. The coca, of course, was the coca leaf of South America. The cola nut was the cola nut of Africa, which has caffeine in it. The soda fountain was a kind of poor man's health spa. You know, when you first would saddle up to the counter in the old drugstore at your corner town and you wanted the Coca-Cola, you didn't ask for the pause that refreshes. You asked literally, and the term was, "Give me a shot in the arm."
But within a few years, a horrified world discovered the miracle drug's dark side. As their citizens became addicted, governments swiftly outlawed cocaine. In 1905, Coca-Cola lost its kick when its cocaine was removed. One of Sigmund Freud's closest friends died from the cocaine habit Freud had so enthusiastically recommended. Freud himself avoided cocaine addiction, only to die of throat cancer from smoking 20 cigars a day. Incredibly, scientists ignored the dangers of creating unnaturally powerful drugs.
Heroin was invented in 1898 and was prescribed for 2 years as a safe cough suppressant that had none of the addictive properties of morphine. And it took 2 years before people recognized that it was at least as addictive as morphine.
Today, science struggles with the riddle of how to control the powerful drugs it has unleashed upon the world. Some scholars believe we may have much to learn from those who still practice the ancient ways.